So this here is when we really start to get into the career of Janet Jackson. The year is 1989, the year of Rhythm Nation. Janet is still working with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Um, those three together, Janet, Terry, and Jimmy, created Rhythm Nation, right? Which is an incredible album. It's a movement. It is, in my opinion, it's really kind of the start of Janet's like taking over the world. You know, it was Rhythm Nation was Michael. The album to me that took Michael over the edge is Thriller. The album to me that took Janet over the edge is Rhythm Nation. So it was her Thriller. Um, they said it actually outsold Thriller, I believe. Um, so she was just truly on top of the world. Also during the documentary, this is when we started to incorporate the the new people, the different celebrities and stuff. So we got Q-Tip, Tiana Taylor, Regina King, Mariah Carey. um who else we had talking? Samuel Jackson, Missy Elliott, Sierra. um who else they had? Jermaine Dupri. Shocked he decided to do it, yeah. Um, but yeah, Janelle Monáe, MC Light. It was great. It was great just seeing, everybody, these people that live through this amazing era of music with Janet. She won many awards, won her first Grammy off the Rhythm Nation album. The Rhythm Nation tour was one of the biggest tours ever to exist. Huge for Janet, right? In 1990, she got the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She had 7 top 5 singles. She was just on top, and she had also just left her old label, and she got on a new label, Virgin, I believe, for however many $1 million, right? But during this time, Janet wanted to take a break, and she wanted to do other stuff. So this is when Poetic Justice came into play. In 93, I think, something like that, when Poetic Justice, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all get it, early 90s. It was a big deal. She was working with Tupac, also Regina King. Regina King said that she just remembers, it was so much chemistry, and it was a big deal. Janet Jackson, her first movie, but she's a huge star, right? So everybody's just like, oh my gosh, it's Janet, Janet killed Poetic Justice, as we know. It was just so good. It was such a classic film. And I forgot. I don't know why I forgot, but I guess it was because it was just such a short part in the movie. And to be honest, when it comes to Poetic Justice, I've seen it from all the way through, but a lot of times I tend to miss that scene where Janet is in the car with Q-Tip, shot her boyfriend. He ended up getting shot. So yeah, I forgot all about that. Q-Tip was in the film, but yeah, that was him, child. And yeah, he was just like, oh my gosh, I got to kiss Janet, and it's just so, it's cute. It's cute, and it's just, I just love it. I just love, everything about Janet and the history, and just black excellence. It's just really makes me happy. Makes me feel like I can be something great. Anyway, even as a grown up. So Renee, her husband, he was up in everything, child. He was up and he was directing videos. He one of my favorite Janet ballads is, again, from the Janet album, which is probably my favorite Janet album, maybe. I also love Discipline. Velvet Rope is its own moment, right? Just good. Anyway. So yeah, he directed the Again video. And I'll never fall in love this way again. Doom, 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 doom. Also done by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Just so talented. them, Babyface, just incredible, right? So just my childhood. Um, so yeah, the video was a little sexy. The chain was coming out her pants, and he directed everything. Renee was just right there. Renee was a voyager. Didn't I talk about how Renee was into all that kind of stuff? His woman being with other men's, and him just pull it down a little lower, darling. But lo and behold, we find out Renee was along around the corner popping pills. Child, she already dealt with that thing with James DeBarge. God bless his soul. He's still alive, but God bless him. And God bless Renee too. Is Renee still here with us? I hope so. But yeah, so but she didn't know that. That woman was in love. Janet and Renee's ideal, Janet's famous thing that Normani did to Tiana at the MTV Music Awards, the lap dance thing. That's what him and her Renee jugged up and pulling men up on stage and giving them a heart attack because she grinding all up on the men. So yes, child, I was just like, ooh, Renee is a freak. So anyway, yeah, who else we saw? Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was there. I was like, look at Whoopi. I love it. I love it. Anyway, so they got into the whole Michael Jackson thing, of him being accused of the things that he was accused of, the little kids and all that kind of stuff. She said, I love my brother. I know my brother. We dealt with a lot growing up. Joe Jackson ass may have been crazy. But that man had a vision. Hello. And we may have not had a full childhood, but my brother didn't do that. And I do believe that. And Michael paid the family off because he just wanted it to be done. He wanted it to be over with. Because that's a lot. She said that she noticed a switch in her and her brother's relationship. Her and Michael were super close. They were close in age, her, Michael, and Randy. And so she noticed that switch in their relationship because when he started to become just a bigger than life star, right? Probably the biggest music celebrity we've ever known. And she just noticed that he, you have to change when you become that. He's his own thing, it's just like, my God, he's not, but it's almost like a God type of level when you are like a Michael Jackson, and so, she was just like, damn, like my brother's really gone to the industry, and, dealing with the whole allegations and all that. It was a lot. It was a lot on him. I can only imagine. So Janet and Michael was able to come together for the Scream, the legendary Scream video. Y'all remember years ago when she did at the MTV Awards when she did Scream. This is when Michael had passed and he was behind her doing it, and she was. I can only imagine how tough that was for her. Great video, right? One of my all-time favorite songs ever in the history. And the video, she said the video was extremely expensive. It wasn't even supposed to cost that much. It ended up costing up in the millions, child. It was a beautiful video, and it was beautiful dancing. And she said during that Scream video, because she was a big star, and Michael was even a bigger star. And his team separated him from his family. So they didn't even, Janet wanted to be with her brother and talk to him and, just do family stuff and get back into the swing of things like they used to. But because they're Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson, said they was in two totally separate areas. They came together when it was time to film the video, but she didn't get to talk to her brother even during that. And so it's just crazy how controlling and honestly, and evil that's in this world, and especially the music industry, when you reach a certain level of success, and it's just all about the team and this and that. It's just so, where is normalcy? Where is, forget all this, that's my brother, that's my sister, it's like, wow, I can only imagine. Let me see. She just I'm looking at my little notepad, child. She discovered, oh boy, her husband was on painkillers. The relationship lasted 9 years, and then they got a divorce. Renee, y'all know the famous Rolling Stone cover where it's just her jeans and she's topless and the hands is over her. Oh, I forgot I even had on the shirt Poetic Justice. How appropriate. I ain't even playing this, y'all, for real. I wear the shirt all the time. But look, how appropriate, right? How appropriate. But anyway, the famous video, I'm going to do that when I get this weight under control. I'm going to do Janet famous pose. Y'all gonna like and shit, comment on the picture. Wonder who hands I got to put over. Anyway, child, Renee said that was his hands. He wanted to be compensated. Renee he said, God damn it, that picture was world famous and I need to be compensated. That was my hand holding her breast during that photo shoot. And God damn it, I'm going to get money for my time. So she had to end up paying Renee for a child. You don't, until things like that happen, you don't know people. You don't know people. You could be sleeping with the enemy, child. Ooh-wee. So anyway, we get into the whole Demeter Joe era, legendary, right? Velvet Rope, all that good stuff. Let's see. We get into the All For You phase, early 2000s, right? Just one of my favorite Janet songs. I see you staring at the corner of my eyes. Hey. Don't you think I do? Keep talking, man. You say you want it, it's all for you. And she looks so good in that video. The dancing. All my girls in the party, look at that body, shaking that thing like you never did see. Got a nice package, alright. You said I'ma have to ride it tonight. So this around the early 2000s when she met Jermaine Dupri, child. They were doing well. They had a good time. He was just like, wow, Janet's interested in me. And she was, bless her heart. Jermaine, super talented and all that stuff. But he's a known, playboy. He lives a certain lifestyle. Anyway, cut to like 2004, the whole NFL game, child, with the whole Justin Timberlake boob moment, child. It was a complete accident. We already know the story as to how it happened. She got all the backlash. And we found out that she secretly told Justin that if I was you, I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't speak on this whole thing because everybody coming at me basically saying, let me take the heat and you go away scot-free, which is, messed up, right? There was so much racism wrapped up in that. Her being a black woman, so much. If he had ripped Britney titty out, it would have been a moment, but it wouldn't have lasted that long. And it definitely, people would have chucked it up as a mistake and all that. But since it was Janet, and the way that people treated Janet Jackson, crazy. Insane. A legend. A woman who inspired a Justin Timberlake, who inspired a generation from Britney to Britney to Beyonce to like so many people, Sierra. I mean, we can go Mariah. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Janet has technically been around since the 70s. And it's just like, come on, put some respect on that lady name. And a nipple accident happened, child. Whoop-de-doo. It's so interesting. I wonder if that happened in today's time. It probably wouldn't even matter. Look at what's on TV now. So, I was just like, wow. Janet always taking the high road, being raised a certain way and understanding how the world works and stuff. She's very positive and, she didn't go in how some other people might have would have went in on that situation and, trying to protect Justin, but who was protecting her, It was a lot. I really wish she would have talked more and went, but, like I said, that was back in the early 2000s. It's years and years and years from that. And yeah, her and Justin are cool right now. And so I guess that's good, child. Let's see. They talked about why Jermaine and her didn't work, and basically, Jermaine cheated. He never admitted to it. He was just like, he probably should have fought harder for the relationship, but he knew he was wrong. He knew he cheated. And she said they barely saw each other. It was his work. His work was his woman. And she said that she wished that would have been clear up front and they could have just had a little rendezvous, darling, and went on about their business. I didn't want to. We have to be in a full blown relationship. If your full blown relationship was gonna be like this, you ain't got no time, child. And that's why I say, you just need to be honest with yourself and your potential partner. Be like, yo, this is my job. This is the hours I dedicate to it. This is my lifestyle. Do you still want to be bothered with me? And let that person decide. You know. But that was basically the thing, child. We saw Tyler Perry as well. I think I mentioned Tyler. He's worked with Janet multiple times, and Janet is also, a great actress. Just, it's Miss Jackson, child. I ain't finna get into it. They got to the whole 2016 when she got pregnant at 50, and she had the baby at 50, and she has a beautiful little boy, and whoop to whoop to whoop, right? Janet did not mention her husband at all. Her last and I think final husband. She didn't mention that man at all. I can only imagine the stuff that she went through over there. Because she's a Jackson. She's famous. She's royalty over here in the States. Over there where he at. They didn't give a damn about Janet. You wrap up and shut your mouth. Y'all know how, in certain cultures, it's, certain women are taught, and that's the culture, Oh, can you imagine? She want to twerk and can't. And she got all these damn clothes and it's 90 degrees. I don't know. I ain't trying to come for nobody's, religion or culture. I don't know. I'm just up on here talking shit. But yeah, I can only imagine. A few years ago, Janet got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The person who introduced her was Janelle Monáe. Everybody loves Janet and inspired by Janet, and it was lovely. They need to get Mariah Carey, her homegirl, in the Hollywood Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But anyway, it was just such a legend, such an impact that she's made. They got on Michael Jackson and the passing of him. I remember when when I found out that Michael Jackson had passed away. I found out on 106 in Park, I believe. I was watching it, and as soon as they stopped talking, AJ and Free, they started playing "You Are Not Alone" by Michael Jackson, and that just took me on out, child. Whether you were a fan of him or the family, whether you knew him or not, whether you really, listen to his music or not, these people are embedded into us as people. They are us. They are, we all know Michael Jackson song. We all know Jackson 5 song, and, there was a piece of us. These people are part of our lives. It's music and stuff. So, when he passed, it really just, had a impact on all of us, I believe. And, I can only imagine what they went through as a family. And literally, it was the industry, in my opinion, that brung Michael Jackson down. So, yeah, that was pretty much it with Janet. Like I said in my last review, I thought it was a great documentary. Some stuff I knew. There was a few things that I did not know or realize, but it was either way. It was just interesting. It was just good for her to tell her own story, versus somebody else. And I hope a lot of other celebrities do the same thing. I'm so ready for a lot of these legends documentary. I'm here for it. This was done right because it was done by her. And whoever else that she worked with. This is how you do it. Take your story into your own hands and tell it. With that said, I'm MrChalaki. MrChalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at Iskizor on Instagram and Twitter. At Iskizor89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. MrChalaki on Cash App and PayPal. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned. And I'll see you guys later. Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Ooh, wait. So nasty.